Speaking of giving rookies a chance, the Jets, Zach Wilson was extremely impressive on Saturday, had a nearly flawless, perfect game against the Green Bay Packers. And listen, this was at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. It was not in the middle of the winter. It was just the second preseason game. And the Jets won the preseason game 23-14. I don't want to embellish anything, but I do think, given the fact that we're probably not going to be applauding the Jets winning or saying that they're going to be winning many games this year, I think that there's nothing wrong with giving them their flowers now and saying congratulations on winning a preseason game. I thought that Zach Wilson actually played extremely well. Again, 9 of 11 for 128 yards and 2 touchdowns. But this is what was important to me. And again, I want Zach Wilson to succeed. Yes, I thought that the Jets should have drafted Justin Fields, number 2 overall. But regardless, I would love to see Zach Wilson and all these rookie quarterbacks succeed. I truly do. And I will say that the one thing that really impressed me about Zach Wilson, again, just in the preseason game, was his presence in the pocket. Granted, yes, he wasn't going up against Zadarius Smith or Preston Smith, but the poise and the calm, the composure that he had, his presence in the pocket is what really stood out to me, because this was a guy that wasn't slouching, wasn't hunched over. He was utilizing his 6'3" frame to see over the defenses. He was reading his progressions well. He was looking off defenders, especially on that first touchdown pass to Tyler Kroft. So I actually liked a lot of the things that he did. He seemed confident. He seemed poised in the pocket, which is something that's really important. He wasn't panicked. He wasn't flustered. He wasn't constantly just bombarded and overwhelmed. And that's important to see even in a, again, rookie preseason game. I was impressed on that front with Zach Wilson. I actually think that he and Corey Davis, who's been a nice acquisition, they're starting to develop a nice little connection, some good rapport between the two of them. He had 4 catches for 70 yards. I kind of like what's brewing there. They seem to have some good chemistry together. I think that can translate into the regular season. But the problem is, yes, it's true that in 6 preseason games, Zach Wilson has yet to have a 3-and-out. That's true. That is very true. And regardless of whether you're a seasoned quarterback or not, that's very impressive. Rookie, doesn't matter. That's extremely impressive. But this isn't going to be the reality for the New York Jets. Unfortunately, this will not be a realistic representation of everything for the New York Jets, because the reality is they play in one of the toughest divisions in the NFL in the AFC East. They've got the Bills, they've got the Miami Dolphins, they've got the New England Patriots, and you can essentially chalk that up to losses given the fact that they're going to be seeing these teams 6 times over the course of the NFL season. You can pretty much chalk that all up as losses. And so the reason why this is important too is because why did we even think that the New York Jets this year were going to be better? It wasn't just the fact that they drafted Zach Wilson and that he was going to show promise. And it wasn't just the fact that they drafted Elijah Vera Tucker, who's a talented offensive guard, and you pair him with Mekhi Becton, and now you fortify that offensive line a little bit. No, the reason why we thought the Jets, not that they were going to make tremendous noise, but that they would be a lot better, is because of their acquisitions on the defensive side. On the defensive side of the ball, well, here's the problem. Their biggest free agent acquisition in the offseason, Carl Lewis, their defensive end, he just ruptured his Achilles, so he's done for the season. Another key linebacker free agent that you brought in Jared Davis, well, now he sustained an ankle injury. He had to be carted off. Your backup offensive tackle and Connor McDermott suffered a knee injury, so now you have less depth at the offensive line position. He had to be carted off as well. So it was the defensive side of the ball that was where the Jets were going to make those huge strides. and become a much more balanced team. That's where we expected to see improvement from this team. It was never just solely because of Zach Wilson and the offense. It was because, okay, the offense is going to be a little bit better, but they were going to be complemented and perhaps even led by that more talented defense. You still have C.J. Mosley. So as a talented linebacker. So I just think that, again, it's not just that the New York Jets were hoping to be a better team. It's that we expected them to ideally be relying on their defense to overcome the paucity of playmakers that they have on the offensive side. Because, yes, as I mentioned, it's great that they've got Elijah Vera-Tucker and Mekhi Becton. Those two, the left tackle and the left guard, that left side is pretty shored up right now. That's improved greatly, and that's, I think, will benefit Zach Wilson a great deal. I think that we're seeing the connection between him and Corey Davis, the former Tennessee Titan. I think he's a really talented wide receiver at a UCF. I like him. And obviously you still have Jamison Crowder, who's been there, and you drafted the kid Elijah Moore out of Ole Miss, who's talented. But right now, that's not an all-star wide receiving lineup. You got Tevin Coleman as a wide receiver. As a running back. He's a veteran, but again, no game-changing, real impact players that can elevate you substantially. So it was going to be the defense that they had to rely on. And now that they're severely crippled even more due to these injuries, there's going to be a bigger onus on Zach Wilson to have to overcome those weaknesses, to overcome that. And to be honest, I'm not sure if he'll be able to do that. I hope that he can have some success. Again, I actually really was impressed with his posture, with his poise in the pocket. And he seemed like he had some confidence and some control over everything that was happening. That's impressive to see, especially on the road at Green Bay. But it was that defense that was going to help offset what at times was an anemic offense last year. And now you sustain major injuries to all of your major offseason acquisitions. So that's just not a very positive sign moving forward if you're the New York Jets. That's personally what I think on the matter.